It's been a long trip, starting at 3 in the morning on the other side of the country. Then you settle into the hotel, you're in San Francisco. What are you going to do? You got to kind of erase the trip. You're going to need a little fuel, maybe a salubrious libation, and you go out looking for someplace to eat. The concierge tells you there's an okay place, but it's about a 10-minute drive from here. So you Uber it over there. At least that's what you do if you're me. And as I say, uh, top off the tank a little bit in every way. Uh, and you happen to notice looking out the window, there's a party of several people, and they're picking up one of these things. You see them all over San Francisco, and if you've been paying attention in the news, you know that this is a Waymo, uh, an automatic driverless transportation. You know that these things work fairly well if you've ever been in a Tesla, though, and you let that thing drive around town by itself. It's a little bit, well, I have to say, the Tesla is much better than it was last year at this time. I'd say somewhere back in July over last summer, they had a full self-driving update that really got the job done. Can drive you portal to portal really well, and it's staggering. The great thing about the Tesla too is that I would say over the summer you were only enraging half the population driving that thing around. But now, here we are in 2025. You're enraging 100% of the population driving that thing around. So that's one problem with the driverless vehicle. And also, before the update, it was like you were trying to give driving lessons to a drunken adolescent. You felt you were taking your life in your hands if you were driving around town on automatic full self-driving in a Tesla. But the Waymo, that's a different story. There are various reasons that that is true. They have people, I believe, supervising the ride. I think they can look at things through their cameras and decide whether it's really safe to take a ride on red, and if you need to, if a lane is obstructed or things like this, I think. But they don't actually drive the car. I'm not sure they have the ability to do that. They can only tell the car what it's able to do or not able to at certain times if need be. But however it works, it scares a lot of people to death. And of course, I couldn't wait to get in the thing. I saw that guy picking up a Waymo. I said, I got to do that. And in San Francisco, the place is crawling with these things. It's really something to see, and they're flying around too. I was ready for this. I saw the Waymo pick up this party of three just down this street here, and I thought, hey, how hard can it be? That's about 50 feet away from the Wayfair Tavern. So of course, I summoned one of these vehicles, and it told me 9 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'll sit inside for five minutes or so, and head out there and see what happens. But I had walked over to that area and asked it to come there, and then stood around and basically waited for it, to be honest. And one shows up at the appointed time, but it passes me, but I'm certain that's it. In fact, it may have even been displaying my initials in the little overhead beacon. And so I thought, okay, I think that's my
There you
car,
go.
but I'm not quite sure where it's going. It passed me by and ignored me,
Hey,
much to
you.
my distress. And then it took a left for whatever reason, and then
I
another
would have
left
guessed it.
and went about 50 feet down the next block, which for some reason it thought was its pickup area. I'm not quite sure. But I decided, okay, it's got to be the right one. And so I wandered over there, and there were my initials on the beacon, and commenced to driving. Took us, back to the Palace Hotel, and it was an eerie feeling, as you can see here. Thing pulls out of the parking space, and down we go. And at first, you're like, whoa, this is very weird, which of course it is. But then you sort of get used to it. It stops at the red light, which is very reassuring. And you're sitting there, and it's giving you a little lecture on how they, sort of telling you, oh, you can do whatever you want in the car. We're not spying on you, just like every other device in of our society. It's a little hard to fully trust. Take our word for it. We're not spying on whatever you're doing in the car. Well, they probably should be, for one thing. You've got to keep these cars clean, and who knows. But whatever it is, that's okay with me, at least for these purposes. And so off we go. You're sort of glad when the cross traffic is going as it's supposed to. Then the light turns green, and off you go. And it picks up a little hit of steam there. It's not lollygagging around. It's really, that's the part that's really unnerving. It's like, really, we can go this fast, and what if something strange happens? Somebody trips and falls in front of the car or something like that. Probably you'd be all right. But in any case, we didn't have the opportunity to test that out, which was fine by me, I have to say. Another red light. That's always a lot of fun. Although it is kind of a breather. You're like, okay, made it another block. It's still in one piece. So this this level of silence is about what you're doing in the car. It's got some music on. You're sort of trying to be soothed by it. You're watching it. Make a right on red. It's just a little suspicious. But after a little while, you gain more confidence. I realize I've seen them all over town. I've only been there for several hours, and I've seen about 50 of these things, and they don't seem to be crashing into anybody, and nor into each other. And so I relaxed after a few minutes in this thing and enjoyed the ride all the way back to the hotel. And that you get out of the thing, and you sort of sign off. You don't really have to tip the driver, is one of the advantages of this invisible entity that is seems to be piloting the thing. You kind of wave goodbye to it, and off it goes. But make no mistake about it, the future is here in all sorts of ways. This is only one of them, but it really, it's a remarkable thing to see, and I was glad to have a chance to do it. And I will certainly take one of these things again. I think right now the Waymos are pretty much in San Francisco, LA, and Phoenix so far.